Hey, it's been a while. So, it's Hannah. I'm back. I know, right? It's been quite a while since I've last updated, and even longer since I've done a video. And if you've been following my blog at all, you know that's because I've just thrown myself into my fiction writing lately, and every time I go to the keyboard to type up a blog post, I'm just way too freaking burnt out. So, instead, I just recently had a brilliant idea. Why not do video instead, right? It's just so much easier, it's so much quicker, and I don't have to worry about writing burnout. So I may just switch to doing video instead of blog posts from now on, and maybe I'll be more active because of that. But anyways, today I wanted to talk about having a cat in Japan. Because I've had my cat Ryuji here in Japan now for a little over a year. And yeah, it's been an adventure. I never intended to have a cat in Japan. It's crazy that I do, but you know, these things have a way of happening to us. And I mean, we don't plan it. So yeah, I'm going to talk about that because I had some questions once I had found myself with a cat in Japan. Even though I know a lot about having cats, I've had many cats in my life. Um, as you may know or may not know, Japan's a little different. So I had a few questions and I'll be answering my own questions today because I had problems, finding answers when I was looking for them initially. But anyways, how did I end up with a cat? Well, let me tell you. If you know anything about Japan, they have a serious stray cat problem, okay? It's ridiculous, just like Google Cat Island. Because there are, I believe, multiple cat islands, actually, where it's just run over by stray cats. It's freaking ridiculous. But anyways, they are everywhere, especially in Tokyo. And I have this local park that I always like to walk through. It's really nice. And there are a ton of stray cats there. But last year, around this time, every time I went there, I was approached by this one cat. And this cat was just so freaking friendly. I couldn't believe it. Like, most stray cats are so skittish and they run away. They don't even want you to look at them, let alone touch them. But this cat would come up to me and nuzzle me, and he wanted me to pick him up and hold him. And every time I tried to leave, he'd follow me, and it was just awful. But I was like, bro, you're better off here. Like, you have other cats to play with. You have nature. It's better for you and stuff. So I had no intention of adopting him. But basically, as I went back and back, I saw that he was getting wounds, like more and more wounds, really, really nasty, scary looking wounds. Until finally, the day that I adopted him, I actually witnessed him get his ass handed to him by this big ass Garfield looking cat that I like to refer to as Kamoshida. Now, if you've played Persona 5, my cat is named after the character Ryuji in Persona 5, and oh my god, it's such a fitting nickname because my cat, just like the character, never shuts the fuck up. Well, Kamoshida also has quite the fitting nickname. This cat was just such a bully. And I couldn't believe it when he was beating on Ryuji. Man, it was awful. The sound was indescribable. And from that moment, I was like, no, man, I'm taking you home. I'm taking you home with me right now. You're not going to have to put up with this anymore. So I went across the street, and there's a home center, and I bought this. This is actually a cat carrier. Believe it or not, Japan likes to be fashionable with their cat carriers, dog carriers, and pretty much anything, really. That's where he'd be able to look out of. But yeah, cat carrier that looks like a purse. Awesome, right? But anyways, I got that, and I went over, and I got Ryuji, and I just brought him home with me. Totally unpremeditated. I couldn't, man. I have a bleeding heart when it comes to animals. That's me. That's who I am. Just gotta embrace that shit. So anyways, when I ended up bringing him home, I was like, oh my god, I have a cat in Japan. What do I do now? I have had many cats in my life, as I said, but again, things can be a little different in Japan, as I realized after I had already ended up with a cat in Japan. So I'm going to answer the questions that I had. Hopefully this will help anyone else that finds themselves with a cat in Japan, or if not, if you don't have a cat in Japan, you're not in Japan, don't have a cat, whatever. Hopefully it's still, I don't know, interesting to you. Nice, interesting piece of information. So here we go. Question number 1. His shit. I was like, what do I do about his shit? Like, he's gonna do it pretty soon, and I don't know what to do with it. And you might think, like, what the hell, Hannah? Like, obviously, you, like, take care of cat shit in Japan as you would in America, but would you really? Because, as anyone that knows Japan knows, they love to, separate their trash. In fact, it's kind of a law to separate the trash, depending on where you are. So that's something you gotta do. And I was like, so if I scoop his poop, what trash does that go in exactly? I was like, I assume it goes into the catch-all burnables, but if not, I don't want to just give, like, these poor garbage people, like, a nasty-ass surprise by putting, like, cat shit in the burnables. I was like, I'd honestly rather flush it down the toilet, but I don't know if the toilets are meant to handle, you know, like cat litter and stuff here, because the Japanese toilets, they can also be, like, really, really sensitive. So I was like, what do I do about his shit? Anyways, the answer was really, really easy. All that it took to answer that question was going to the shopping center, and this is where I found this. So there you go, if you can see that. It should be obvious, even if you can't read Japanese, that this is flushable cat litter. So that answered my question. Flushable cat litter. So you can flush it down the toilet and it's no problem. And I've been doing that for over a year, and my toilet has not had any negative reactions. It's been all good, a-okay. So, yeah, flushable cat litter. Easy enough to find, too, because of that nice little picture on the front. Question number 2. The vet language barrier. So I can speak Japanese pretty well, I would say. I was a Japanese major. I've been living here for almost 3 years now, and I've lived here before. But even I, like, have imposter syndrome, if you will, at times. And especially when it came to this, I was like, yeah, I can speak Japanese, I can get by my everyday life, but I was like, I don't know how to say, like, vaccination, or, like, I don't know, rabies, or infection, or even stray cat, which, by the way, stray cat is nora neko. Nora neko. That's how you say stray cat. But yeah, I was like, what do I do? And so I looked into English clinics first, because I didn't want to mess around with that shit. I usually, when it comes to important stuff in Japan, I try to get English options just so I don't mess up. But there are tons of English, you know, vet clinics around. However, getting to one from where I live would have required me to go on, like, the public transportation systems with my cat. And I don't even know if that's allowed for one at this point. I'll keep you updated once I discover the answer to that. But it just seemed like a horrible idea, like just a pain in the ass, and the idea stressed me out. When I actually have a vet clinic literally like 5 minutes from my apartment, 5 minutes walk from my apartment. So I was like, fine, I'll just go there. I'll get over my imposter syndrome. I can do this. And so I just did it, and all I gotta say is imi wa. Imi wa. That is the name of an app, and it is like a Japanese English dictionary app. If you are studying Japanese at all, highly, highly recommend it. It is my favorite Japanese to English, you know, dictionary thing out there. It is a fucking lifesaver, basically. Just imiwa, I-M-I-W-A, imiwa. Literally, that means what's the meaning in Japanese. And yeah, that shit is the best. Basically, so I would use my like basic Japanese skills with the vet, but whenever a word came up that I didn't understand, I just handed her my phone and she could type it in and I could see what it was in English, and no problem. And I've been taking Ryuji to her, lots of times over this past year for various things, and we've never had a problem. When in doubt, Emiwa. Emiwa. It's got your back. So finally, my last question that I thought of that was like, it's in the future. I don't have to worry about it. Well, now I'm going to have to start worrying about it. It's taking him back to the U.S. So I'm actually planning on moving back to the States this summer, which, freakishly enough, that's like within 6 months, so I'm going to have to get on that shit. But I've talked to my vet about it. I don't know all the specifics yet, but I can definitely keep you guys updated as I go through the process of like prepping him and actually taking him back to the States. But basically, it's not nearly as intimidating as I expected it would be. For the US. Let me just preface that, because like if you're from Australia, good luck, man. Good luck. Because yeah, the rules change depending on the country that you're going to be going to. But if you take a cat from Japan to the US, it's actually pretty easy. The rules aren't really strict or anything. In fact, and I'm taking extra precautions. I asked my vet, like, if I want to come back to Japan with him someday, which I probably will, what do I got to do? And there's some extra precautions you got to take if you're thinking of doing that, apparently. But I can keep you updated on the specifics. But basically, the cat needs to be microchipped. So I got him microchipped. It's super easy. It doesn't cost like anything. It costs like $20. Second of all, I believe they need like a health certificate. You need to get that done pretty much like within 4 weeks or something of your flight. Don't quote me on this. I don't know the actual specifics because I haven't had to deal with them quite yet, but I know it's something easy like that. And of course, all the things like updated vaccinations and all that stuff. But basically, my vet was like, just hit me up like 2 to 3 months before you would be going back with him, and we'll get started on that process. So once I get started on that process, I'll let you know. And also, I can take him on the cabin in the airplane. It depends on which airlines you're going with, but as long as you get like an airline approved cat carrier, you can bring them on the airplane in the cabin, because I don't want to mess with that cargo shit. That's scary to think about. Like, it just seems cruel and unusual to the animals. I mean, it's bad enough taking them in the cabin, so that's what I'm planning on doing, and we'll see how it goes. So yay. In conclusion, I guess, if you have any further questions about owning a cat in Japan, let me know. And really, I mean, if you have any questions about Japan in general, just let me know, and I'll do my best to answer them. Hopefully you'll be seeing more of me now that I've figured out my writing burnout problem, and you'll probably be seeing me a lot more often in video because of that. And also, so I've decided to do like a few updates to my blog to spice things up to make it interesting for me. Because, well, one, like I said, I'm going back to the States this summer, and I'd still like to keep my blog, of course. So I'm probably going to start branching out into not only talking about Japan, but talking about other things. And I think a good bridge for that is a la Tim Ferriss, I'm going to add like what I'm currently doing, and I'm going to add it to my blog posts. Like each time I post, I'll post at the bottom what I am watching, TV show wise, what I'm playing, video game wise, what I'm reading, what I'm writing, what I'm listening to, music wise, and what I am contemplating, because I am philosophical like that. Anyway, so hopefully that stuff can be a good like conversation starter, not just between like me and you guys, but between, you guys. Like, yeah. So that's why I'm going to be doing that. And I mean, if nothing else, you guys can just kind of like stalk me that way, or see why I am not posting for months at a time, because I'm just so, enraptured with all these other things apparently. But anyways, yeah, just email me or comment on YouTube or my blog about that stuff if, you know, you're into that stuff as well and you definitely want to talk about it. I'm totally down to talk about any and all of those things. And I will try to get back to you within a few days. Not always the best at getting back to people because I am busy and my mind can be like a million places at once. But I will try to get back to you in a few days. Also, as I said, like, if you have any questions about living in Japan in general or anything, please let me know, because for me, ideas for blog posts have been sparse lately, and I feel like it would probably be more useful to you guys just to know what you want to know about anyways, you know? Like, so if you have a question about Japan or Jet, because I know the interviews are coming up like soon, like next month, right? So if you've got any questions about that stuff, please let me know and I'll try to answer you actually in a blog post or video like this and give you a really thorough response, hopefully. Last thing, I'm thinking of opening up some coaching. Yeah, so lately I've just noticed everyone, particularly my fellow millennials, has been having a really hard time, I guess. Really struggling and feeling stuck and angry and depressed and frustrated because, I mean, damn, like, the world has been pretty shitty lately, right? And it's kind of frustrating. It can be depressing at times, right? Well, of course, I too have been having a very, very hard time with things. I have not been spared. But I'd like to think that at least I've been coping with it a little better than most people I've been seeing. So I'd like to share with people how I do that. And basically what I'm thinking the coaching thing will be is like a coaching, part like an online course and part reading. And by that I mean like an astrology or numerology reading. I'm going to like look at people's charts like for those things and other weird woo-woo things and see like how your natal chart, your blueprint could be affecting you right now. And basically, I think the goal would be to find your purpose because, yeah, so many people just feel so stuck right now and without purpose or drive. Honestly, I don't think finding your purpose is as hard as we make it out to be. So yeah, if you're feeling stuck or lost or just flat out depressed, I can help. But yeah, anyways, if that sounds at all like interesting to you, just subscribe to me on YouTube, or you can head over to my blog if you're not there already. The link will be in the description of the video, and you can sign up for my mailing list. It's right at the very bottom of the page, and I'll just keep you updated as soon as that goes live. I'm gonna try and get that live sometime within the next month. So yeah, it's exciting stuff. But yeah, that's basically everything I wanted to talk about today. It's great to be back. Yeah, just let me know what you thought in the comments. And before I go, I will show you Ryuji, okay? There he is. Oh, yeah. He's a good boy, yes. What a good boy. Okay. But yeah, anyways, have a good one. Nice to talk to you. And until next time, peace out.